I'm going to talk to you all about 7 simple steps to do a effective role play. Okay, we are going to have a small flow chart. I think through that you will know how to frame a good role play or how to do a good role play. So what is it? A 7-step process how to do a role play. Keep this in your mind. Sometimes based on the patient's reaction it can change, but almost you can do it in this way also. Okay, so can we start? What are we going to do? The 7 easy steps how to do a role play. The first step that you're going to do is you're going to greet the patient. How you're going to greet the patient? While you get your role play card, you will see what is the time or what situation it is. Based on that, you're going to greet the patient. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening or hello. Okay, so this is how you're going to greet the patient. The second thing is you are going to introduce. The second step after greeting, the second step is what? You are going to introduce the patient. Not only the patient, you are going to introduce yourself also to the patient. So there are 2 things when it comes to introduction, from the patient side as well as from the nurse side. First, let me talk from the nurse's side. When you're going to introduce regarding yourself, from the role play card, you need to know what is your job role. Okay, and you need to find out your setting, and then you have already wished the patient and you're going to say you are the one who's going to look after him or her today. So this is what you're going to say it from your side. But whereas from the patient side introduction, what you're going to know, you're going to ask the name of the patient. If you need to ask the name of the patient, you need to know whether the patient is a known patient or an unknown patient. If it is a known patient, you need to ask the name of the patient during the 3 minutes of preparation and then call the patient's name. Hi, Mr. Robbie. Okay, you are going to start out like that. If it is a known patient, if it is an unknown patient, you can ask the patient's name during the introductory phase by asking, could you please tell me your name? The patient will tell the name. And then you can ask the patient, how can I call you or how can I address you to have a better rapport. That time the patient will say, you can call me this. Then you say, oh, if he's telling, call me Mr. Thomas, you will call him by the name Mr. Thomas. Sometimes he will say, call me Thomas. Just write it as Thomas. So this is your introductory phase. So the first phase is greeting. The second phase is introduction, that is from the nurse's side, from the patient side. Okay. Now the third one is you have to know the nature of interview. That is your third step. That is what? Nature of interview. So nature of interview depends whether the patient is a known patient or an unknown patient. Okay, so that's very important. Now let us talk about unknown patient, and then we will talk about known patient. So for an unknown patient, who is called as an unknown patient? The patient who comes to visit you for the first time. For an unknown patient, you can always start off by using an open-ended question at the onset itself. How may I help you? What brings you here today? How can I help you today? You can ask with that and you can start off your conversation. So that is the nature of interview that you're going to do for an unknown patient by using open-ended question. Is it clear to you? Okay, now we are going to use the nature of interview for a known patient. If it is a known patient, you need to know who is a known patient. If a known patient means a patient who's been admitted in the hospital, who's undergoing a particular treatment for that day, or maybe who's going for a special investigation, who's come in for a review, or who is being referred by the doctor. So these type of people are called as known patient. If it is a known patient, you will read the background information, take the background information and then ask, is it right or not? The patient will say yes or no. So for a known patient, you are going to use a closed-ended question. After asking the closed-ended question, then you are going to ask the second question is you are going to ask the open-ended question by saying, how are you feeling today? Or you are going to ask a question associated to that. Did you all understand that? For an unknown patient, you will directly start with an open-ended question, but whereas for a known patient, you will first ask a closed-ended question and then you will ask an open-ended questions. So this is your nature of interview. So first step, what you're going to do, you're going to wish, that is greet the patient. Then comes the introductory phase by knowing the patient side, as well as you are going to tell about your side. The third one is you're going to talk about the nature of interview, that is you're going to plan out what sort of question you are going to ask. That is your third phase. The fourth phase is